Today, as I promised, we are going to address a question that popped into my inbox, more of a sharing, if you will. And so the question we'll talk about and dive into today came from Beth. So this is what she said. I'm facing a doozy with my husband and fears of him cheating. I need to face my fears. My soul wants me to face them. I can do this. First of all, Beth, thank you so much for finding strength and courage in the message that I was saying about facing fears, and also reaching out so I can give you even more support, even more help and direction in such a confusing time. So here's what is so obvious and yet not so obvious in a situation when our partner is cheating. The obvious reaction, the obvious human reaction, is to feel that something is being done to us, that we are being put in a situation that is shocking and traumatizing, and for us to be the victim of it, right? Like they're the villain doing something that is violating the sanctity of our space, the sanctity of our promises, the specialness of our moments together. And undoubtedly, those are very, very real emotions. I am not going to sit here and tell you that, oh yeah, no big deal. These are very, very real emotions when you're in the middle of it. And because the emotions are strong, the blame, the stories that run through our head, the explanation, the wondering, the confusion, the shock, all of it is so real. It's very easy to feel completely encircled in that pain and to forget the second point, that it doesn't seem so obvious. So this is really where I want to move this conversation into. So I recognize and validate your feelings of being violated, the shock, the pain, the hurt of it all. I'm with you. I absolutely validate those emotions. But where I want to bring all of us now is to the second less obvious thing. And this is the place of power, the place that doesn't seem so clear, right? When somebody's doing the doing and all of a sudden it's out of your hands, the last thing we actually think is, I have a say in this. I get to choose. And yet you do. Remember, we all know that we create our reality, and this is really when the tire hits the road. Is that the right expression? When we really must remember that we create our reality, we get to choose. Because you see, it's so easy to say, they're doing this, it's out of my control, but you get to say how things work out. Remember, when things are good on the outside and you feel in control in this relationship, you're really coming from a place of circumstantial power. So the circumstances are good, so I can be good, right? Like I feel in control. I feel good and certain about this relationship. But if the circumstances are messy, I don't feel powerful. We don't do this, right? That's what I'm trying to inspire you and encourage you and ask you to be bold into, to claim your reaction in the moment to be from a place of personal power, not circumstantial power. Because I'm here to tell you, Beth, your husband, whomever has been in this situation, your partner is equally confused. So somebody has to say what they want out of this moment, right? Okay, so I want to tell you two stories, and then we'll circle back to how to make sense of all of this. So here goes the first story. And the essence, the thread that connects the two stories is the same question. What do you want? Remember, it's a personal power moment when somebody's cheating on you, when your partner is cheating on you. And for you to connect with your power, personal power, you must know what you want. It seems obvious, but when we are in the moment of feeling that it's all just, broken and, lost, that's not where we go. What do I want? We go into a reaction mode, which is circumstantial power, right? So the most important thing to ask yourself, really, in order to bring yourself back into a place of power, is what do I want? So here goes the first story. I'm speaking with a woman who's really very distressed, and she shares with me that her fiance, soon-to-be husband, has just admitted to cheating on her. Now, here's the circumstances of how this came about, crazy as it sounds. So they're living together, they have their wedding date set, everything is in place, they're in love, they have been together for years. And so he takes off with a bunch of his guy friends, lifelong guy friends, to go on a bachelor party to Costa Rica. And now she is our kind of girl, right? Very intuitive, very connected, deeply connected with him. That's why they're getting married, right? So he's out there in Costa Rica bachelor partying with his guy friends, and she is doing yoga. And in the middle of her doing yoga, she senses a disturbance in the field. She just knows that something is wrong, and she knows it's connected to him. So what she does is she reaches out and she says to him, what's going on? Something's the matter. What is going on? And listen to this. He sheepishly admits that the prior day night, they have all gone to a brothel, and it was all led by the future husband to be, right? He was the instigator of that whole thing. They all go to a brothel. Each one of them sleeps with a prostitute. I cannot think of another word. And that's what happened the night before. Now, this man is a good-hearted man. He's in love with his woman. He was swept in the moment of wanting to please his friends and to be part of the tribe and not be mocked and not be considered not a man, not wanting to, be different, not wanting to stand out and be like, dude, you're marrying your soulmate. Like, you shouldn't be asking all of us to do this, right? But however, everybody's on board. They're being all macho. However, the two of them are on the phone, and he admits, I just slept with somebody else. She's heartbroken. She is devastated. Not only is she devastated for herself, but now she feels she has no integrity to go to this man's wedding, right? She's saying, how am I gonna face the future bride on her wedding date and say to her, congratulations, when I know what a piece of crap guy she's marrying, right? Like, literally, like, this man brought in all his guy friends to a brothel, and I'm supposed to celebrate her marriage. Like, so she was like, I'm heartbroken for myself that my own fiance couldn't say no. And what does that say about us, about our sex life? Right? Because that always kicks in, you guys. When there's a moment of cheating, there's always, there's that immediate jumping out of, sex life. And then the integrity of what does she do about the wedding that's coming up. And so her gut reaction was like, I cannot even go. Like, right now I'm so confused that, like, I'm so lost. So this whole drama is going on with her, and she and I are talking, and I say to her, okay, hold on, take a breath in. Remember, personal power, not circumstantial power. What do you want? What do you want? What is your choice? What do you want to happen with your relationship right here, right now? And she took a breath in and she was like, I'm not done. I want to continue. This is my guy. So I was like, there it is. Don't let your girlfriend sway you in their rage, because you know there was obviously a lot of that going on, a lot of that judgment going on. I was like, you gotta work with your own forgiveness issues. The two of you gotta work through it. Clearly he was showing indication of wanting to work through it, and you can make it happen. What do you want? Remember, personal power. Okay, so this is the first story where she chose to stay with the guy. They got married. I went to their wedding. They've been married for quite a lot of years now. And things are good. They're good. Now, the second story. Here goes the second story. The couple has been together for a very long time. So I hear the story from their daughter. The couple has been together for a very long time. They're now in their older years and their daughter is an adult. And the husband develops Alzheimer's. And so one day, listen to this. I mean, literally, it's like you cannot make up these stories, right? Real life is greater drama than scripted life. So one day he is talking to the wife. He doesn't remember who the wife is, right? Alzheimer's, he forgets. So he starts telling the wife, they had a little spatter, a little argument. And that argument, again, he doesn't remember who she is, provokes him to start being upset how this other woman he had an affair with was doing something similar. And the wife freaks out because the other woman is a friend of hers. And so she starts asking him questions, and the answers he gives leads her to discover his notes, because this man was a journalist and the spoken word storytelling was his infatuation. So she discovers that he has a written record of every single affair that he has ever had, every single sexual encounter, whether it turned into more or not, whether it was just that little bit. And she's shocked beyond words. A lifetime of cheating recorded, and she's reading it all. Like, can you imagine how gut-wrenching that is? And so, personal power. She looks deep within herself and she says, I'm done. She sends the guy to a nursing home, and she's like, somebody else has to take care of you now. You have never been faithful to me. I'm so done. And the guy gets kicked into a nursing home, and that's the end of that. She was done with that marriage. How about that? Personal power. Now, here's the truth. Neither choice is the right choice. I am not here to encourage you to do one thing or another. This is not the point. Every situation is so nuanced. There's so much to every story, every affair. What I'm here to tell you is that even though it seems that the other person is wrong, the one who's wronged you, and the other person is in control, remember, you are. So start by asking yourself, deep within yourself, what is it that you desire? So I want to encourage you to handle and be in the middle of the situation from a place of deep personal power, not reacting to what's going on the outside, but choosing where you want this whole thing to go, where, if you're done or if you want to keep going, and deciding what does that look like, right? Deciding what are the next steps. There's so much more that happens afterwards. There's so much more that needs to be cleared and resolved, because here's one thing. even if we consciously know, I'm gonna say this differently, even though we consciously don't know that we're being cheated on, we always know. You know, telepathy always operates. We're intuitive enough to know that something's the matter. But there's something within us that is not allowing us to really see, kind of like leaving us walking around with blinders and pretending that we don't see. So that's really the second point I want to make with us here today. So if you find yourself in a situation where the other person is cheating on you, I want to ask yourself to really sit with yourself, the rawness of this answer, because this is not going to be a good thing to you know, really face up to, but you can do it. You can really do it. And just ask yourself, what was really blocking me from seeing that this was happening, knowing that all the signs were there? What was the fear within me that was preventing me from seeing the truth? Why was I willing to turn a blind eye? Because like I said to you, we always know, we always know. And so when you ask that question, now we have the deeper layers to work with. Now we're bringing it back to the healing that you need in order to move on. And chances are, for most of us, I'm not going to say all of us, but for most of us, it will be the fear that if I let the situation go, I'm gonna be alone. That's really the basic layer where most of us will end up at, the fear of being alone. Now, I'm not here to school you on any of it, right? Like, I just really want to guide you through the healing process, on you getting to that place within yourself where you recognize that you're worthy, you're lovable, and from there on, remembering that you are the babe with the power, just like that movie. What was that movie? The Black Diamond. Who's the singer? The babe with the power. Well, anyway, it'll come to me. David Bowie. Oh my God, David Bowie was the villain in that movie, and there was a baby, and that was the babe with the power. So remember, you are the babe with the power. Claim your power by deciding what you want. Steer life and change and conversation in that direction. And bring yourself back into a place of certainty, back into a place of power. And remember, the real healing will happen for you when you go into the deepest layer of asking yourself, what was the reason why I was willing to ignore the signs and pretend that this was not happening? And the answer will come. Meanwhile, I am here for you. Reach out if you would like to work with me one-on-one, because I know these are not easy emotions to sit with and deal with. Oh my God, definitely not easy. But if you're hearing this video, if you're watching me talk, if you're with me on the line, I know that your soul is ready for that true, honest, raw moving forward. I'm sending you all my love. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.